Yeah, my sleeping bag lets in the cold. The mattress has a leak. The zipper doesn't work no more. It's lost too many teeth. My boots let in the water and wet my holey socks. The tread is all worn smooth and no longer grips the rocks. Well, the first time I heard about the Bibbulmun Track was, well, I didn't actually hear about it, I saw it. It was a log along the side of the Brooklyn Highway. We used to go to Perth that way quite regularly, and we saw this Bibbulmun Track sign and didn't think much more about it until one day, walking down one of the streets in Perth, my son and I saw this map hanging up in a newsagent's, and it had the Bibbulmun Track marked on it. So we decided then and there we'd go for a bit of a walk. Well, that was back in '76, which I was about 40 at the time, and my young bloke was sort of wanting something to do, so we decided that we'd get together and have a go at it between just the two of us, and it seemed to work fairly well, because after that we seemed to change a bit, but not a great deal, but it did change him a bit. Changed me a bit, I know that. When we first started walking, the shape of the woggles was different what it is now, and it didn't even have a black woggle on it. And when you saw one of them in the bush, you stayed there till you looked around and found the next one, because there wasn't a track to be seen. But now you can almost walk the track without the signs, because the undergrowth is cut away. We have a lot more volunteers looking after it, which is a good thing. There's about 400, I think, roughly offhand. Well, if you're going to do an end-to-end, I find that even though I've done 14, I still got to train for it. I train at least 6 weeks before I go walking, gradually raising the weight of the pack, and also possibly walking a little bit further. Clothing, don't take too many clothes. All you need is what you're walking in and something to sleep in, and that's about it. And if they get a bit smelly, well, when you get to a town, you can get them clean. Well, one of the main reasons I started to be a volunteer was I'd got a lot of pleasure out of walking the track, and I thought it'd be a good idea to try and give something back. And when this is Duke and Alley shelter that I looked after for 20 years, and this came available, so I put my name down, and for 20 years I looked after this section of track, which is now pretty good. Just something, there's nothing made me do it, it's just something I like doing, and getting out in the bush by myself mainly. Mavis came with me quite often, and we'd get out there and do what we thought was necessary to keep the place looking good. Bush poetry is something I've dabbled in since I was 40, I suppose, but I've met a few guys who are better than I am, so I don't sort of try to push it too much, but I have written a few. It's hard to write a poem unless you've got something that starts an incident that happens or something. I've written some about the volunteers, also about some of the walkers. The disgruntled walker is one that I do know. Fly wires ripped and broken, there's mozzies in the tent. Both the poles are missing and half the pegs are bent. The wind is blowing strongly, the rain is pouring down. All my gear's getting wet, the shelter's built the wrong way round. In my time that I've had on the track, I've enjoyed it. I've had different groups of people that I've guided and walked with, teenagers, oldies, all sorts, and it's been quite good.
Farewell to the Bib Track, you've been a great friend. Once more we have shared together a great end to end. 25 years ago was the first one I did. 25 years ago you were just a kid. You have looked after me well as together we talked about all the alignments together we walked. The Carry, the Jarrah, the Pingarup Plains, the hills and the valleys, though the swamps were a pain. At the Valley of Giants, the walk in the trees, the ancient empire, the great tingle trees, great granite boulders and ironstone ridges, crossing rivers and creeks on rickety bridges. Mount Wells, Yarrigal, Cardiac Hill and Ramehead, the fallen trees and the logs, the hard bunk beds, the sand dunes, the beaches, the crossing by canoe. It all comes back to mind as I think about you. The lovely green tunnels with sun sparkling through, the bird song in the morning, the mist and the dew. Now this fork is over, it's been a great end to end. What more can I say? Thank you, my friend.